And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Throwdown OCE Championship League Play 4. My name is Jake Hysterics Penko, and I would not be on the desk without Courier Lord and Yummy Cheese Man there at the end. And of course, this is a very big day because we're getting towards the end of League Play.
Only 2 weeks remaining. We've got 4 teams at the top looking to get into the top 2, and 4 teams at the bottom just trying to sneak their way into top 6.
And you don't want to put it right to the end of the month. You need to have it now locked in and get the wins early so the pressure starts to alleviate.
Remember, it's such a huge tournament, $25,000 US prize pool, and it is not just about that prize money, it's also about RLCS.
Yeah, the top 2 teams, not only do they get 10,000 Australian dollars for coming first, they also represent Oceania on the world stage.
But everyone that comes to Throwdown is a professional gamer and deserve to be rewarded accordingly. 4 digits of cash for a walk away of all contenders.
Of course, but that RLCS, we've been a couple of times before. We're now onto our season where the 3rd season for OCE, this is a big moment where we can prove ourselves once again.
It's a big season for OCE because they need to step up. They need to get to that position where they're fighting for those top 4 positions, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th at the World Championship.
Yeah, I want to see both of our teams in the top 6, and now we have to pick our contenders from these teams, and Chiefs already made it through the top 6.
They're already in the top 6. They're basically top 4, and they're so close to top 2. Meanwhile, those 4 teams at the bottom, they're all in a tug of war between each other for top 6.
Yeah, no one's out, so everyone's still fighting hard.
It'll be defined today. Legacy will be taking on Darksiders as the very last series, but I think the game we will be looking at is this first one because a team like Jam Gaming have to define themselves today as well.
There's a lot of great games. Obviously, at the end of the day, the big one, Darksided versus Tainted Minds, the battle at the top, but there's a lot of battles for the lower teams earlier on.
Yeah, we're talking about matches 2 and 5 in particular. They're ones that could decide relegations in the week to come. So they're the ones going to be looking back at and be like, what ifs and maybes.
But of course, Legacy and Jam will kick us off, and we're going to start that 3-minute timer. The journey for RLCS. Now, Legacy haven't been before, but they're looking in good spirits.
They've been so good. Even last week when they took a loss, and both teams, both Jam and Legacy took a loss last week, in their loss against the Chiefs, they still look spectacular.
Yeah, and that's a good place to be in, because normally Chiefs just destroy everybody across the board. But for me, I think Legacy, the interesting part was this is their first loss against a top 4 team and the first top 4 team they've versed.
I still think they're in such a good position. They're still looking like the 2nd best team, which is great for Cyrix. And I have to mention the rookie Delusion has come through huge this season. He's got the most score per game of anyone. He's got the most goals and saves for his team. And a big thank you to Sloke, who's given us some extra stats, because he's got the most touches per game of anyone and the most passes per game of anyone.
And those passes mean put him in the top 5 in assists as well. So the dude is just a machine.
Could you imagine this machine potentially going to RLCS? They're looking at league play. They're staying in the zone, and another team that has to do that is Jam because they've struggled in the past couple of weeks.
We thought they were a team that could easily challenge the top 2, especially after they took down Tainted Minds in week 1 3-0, and now they're sitting close to the bottom. And we're kind of questioning after their loss against Lovedex, can they bring it back?
Well, Bango is the guy I'm going to be looking at and how they work around him. He has 84% participation for their goals, despite the fact he's the least passed-to member out of their team.
He's got 45% participation in goals and a 40% participation in all of their assists. He is massive up in that front pitch, and Walcott's really stepped up towards the back. But my question is whether they can get those passes going. That's when they become a true team, because they tend to go for too many solo plays.
And yeah, we consider particularly as well, most of their goals are coming from front on. Both Walcott has almost exclusively 100% of his goals just running straight down the middle, and then Decker is pretty similar too. So they need to mix it up.
They get a lot of breakaways, and that's why they get those goals at that front half. So if they can get it across pitch, they should be fine.
Relying on that freedom to get those passes off. Can you do that against Legacy, and can Jam find the win here in this first series?
Legacy are going a team that are great at shutting a team down, so those passes might even be more rare, but I think Jam can bounce back. Just not enough. Legacy are going to take it.
Yep, I'm Legacy as well, and I think this is going to be a fun game to watch because Cyrix, as the most demoing player, is going against Decker, the most demoed player, so I'm expecting to see a lot of destruction.
So it's Legacy, and I'm joining the Legacy hype train as well. Usually you'd see me going for Jam, but after these past couple of weeks, losing a bit of faith, there is potential.
What happened to Walcott? I thought you liked him.
I love
this is like,
Walcott.
you're like a year of loving Walcott. Now you turncoat?
Always abandoning the ones that you love.
Always get attacked. I come into the desk, it's not even the first series yet, and I'm already getting attacked. And Jam are a team if they can get through Legacy, they could create an upset here. They've done it against Tainted Minds. What stops them from doing it against Legacy?
It's very easy for them to get into the top 4 if they do. Right now, we're seeing them maybe 7th and 8th, but this win could make a huge difference.
Yeah, this is the day of runaways. This is the chance for anyone to jump up there because there's so many teams on 1-3, and when 4th seed's only 2 and 2, you can make it.
It's the day that Legacy can continue their stride forward. Game number 1, first series of League Play 4, and Legacy Esports will be looking to take another win, define themselves further, and make sure they stay up there in that top 2, that top 4. But the first shot actually comes from Jam Gaming.
I said it straight on the desk. Bango is the man to watch for the goals for Jam Gaming, and he doesn't let us down with that strong opener straight through the middle.
That positioning from Jam Gaming, strong, and remember we're talking about pride and their stride forward. Jam Gaming getting this first goal, that is the confidence booster that they need.
Yeah, definitely textbook for them. Straight down the middle is where we are expecting to see it as they just run past with those huge solo plays.
Now immediately they're on the defensive career, and Decker punching it out does nothing. Kasiki brings it back, so much freedom. Siki will hit the wall, it comes all the way through, and Delusion will now look for the passing play over to Sirix. Sirix immediately comes back in, but on the defensive again, the runaway Bango pops it up for a second.
Again, they just managed to get those plays. They run down the pitch, and unfortunately for Legacy, they're really struggling in that defense. This is the second time Siki is being caught with his pants down as they score above him.
Bango has just been on fire. What did you say on that analyst desk, Courier?
It's going to be Bango, man. 84% participation. Pretty much every single game that they've won, Bango has popped off. There hasn't been a single one where he's had a poor performance that Jam has pulled ahead.
Legacy getting surprised a little bit in game number 1. Get those feelers out. How do we react? And getting those passes off seems to be what Jam are doing a third time. This time it'll be Walcott's goal.
What a turnaround though, right? Legacy. This is the team that I expected to make top 2, and Jam are just pulling them apart. They are doing what they did to Tainted Minds again.
You know what? Jam would have sat down and said, this is not cutting it. Our league play will not fall short. And getting in those top 6 playoffs to get into the top 4, getting through into that high position. Jam Gaming know exactly where they want to be. An opening for Sirix.
So this is a little bit of a textbook Legacy play. Sirix coming out and finishing the shots that are set up by his teammates. They have these great consecutive passes that come off the backboard, allowing them to open the net.
Now 1-3, Jam Gaming. Decisive at the start, but Legacy, this is a good position for them, and these two haven't faced in league play yet. This is the most important thing when you see a new opponent, when you match play styles a little bit different, and Delusion as he comes up for the ball. Legacy now trying to get those feelers out a little bit further. Sirix is left with the ball, goes for the shot on the backboard. It's not defended. Siki finds the opening, but it's a little bit wide.
Yeah, so Siki's role in the team is typically he runs up very aggressively and takes a ton of shots, which then enables his teammate to get the following touches and score the goal. So you expect him to just keep running forward and making the play start.
Siki's doing that with the backboard now, applying more and more pressure for Jam Gaming. Delusion off the side, Sirix hanging back as well, and Sirix not as far back as we normally see. Getting that center, great pass. It's interrupted by Bango, but the clear's not there, which means Legacy continue to apply that set pressure. Delusion now coming in off the wall will nick it away, but Jam Gaming are back where they want to be.
Yeah, they need to push forward. Getting locked in that right half is a really difficult place to score from, especially when you haven't practiced those passes as much as the Legacy team has.
Sometimes hard to be precise from that corner career. Jam Gaming at 3 minutes 10 hold that 2-goal lead, and on the defensive, Sirix and Siki really struggling to get the ball away. Jam Gaming possession continues to go up, and a light touch here will, at 3 minutes, continue to hold Legacy at bay.
And that's a good showing. Legacy has such strong shooters. They average 3 goals a game. So despite the fact Jam is 3 up, you can expect them to catch, but when you're holding this well on defense, good job, Jam.
I mean, at this rate, yeah, Legacy might be losing some of those stats because those raw numbers are just not coming through, and Jam Gaming, although giving Legacy the chance to get some more saves, it's big disadvantage right now. 2 minutes 30. Bango will go over the ball, and now Siki has to get it through Decker, and does. The third member waiting is going to be Walcott. Hits the wall. He's out of position, but Sirix doesn't get the final shoot, and Delusion tries to come in to finish it off. Sirix now, it's up to him again. A banger saved away by Bango.
What a defense coming out of Jam, but it's not over yet. Another shot coming through. Shots, shots, shots from Legacy, and the finisher from Delusion.
Big moment from Legacy, getting back on the board in a huge way. Bango tries to shift over to the other side, and Delusion for his third time will be successful.
What a rookie. And the beautiful thing about the Legacy offense is each of them have the same number of goals thereabouts. So they all take turns taking the shots. So there's no scary play you have to be worried about. You got to be worried about all of them.
Sirix runs up for the ball. Jam Gaming now should be able to break through. And I think the most important moment here is that Jam Gaming will be trying to come through and get that next goal, get themselves in a position of comfort. Ziki slow with the ball, doesn't get it over, and now for Jam, this bounces off the roof, but it's taken away by Delusion.
Yeah, this is the place they want to be. They need to push forward and get another goal on the board, because getting to 4 is a bit of a sweet spot against Legacy, who typically only pull that 3.
Walcott now, he's going to be in position. This is center. Jam Gaming lose that opportunity with Ziki. And only that 1 goal lead. It's not comfort for Jam. They started so damn strong, but we've seen this in previous games. Sirix stealing it away. Siki now as well. It's a huge bounce, but it'll be a good pass over to Delusion, who locks it in.
Now we have the equalizer. Jam still has that opportunity, though, to run ahead, but the Legacy offense is just starting to switch into gear.
Look at that pass from Siki, though, Courier. I mean, Delusion, he's getting those shots up because Siki and Sirix changing it up a little bit this week.
Yeah, so last week and the weeks before, we've seen Siki comes in first, typically takes a ton of shots. He averages 4+ per game, and then we normally see Delusion either go for the pass or the follow-up.
Sirix actually up for this ball. This was a close nick towards that open net, but unfortunately Jam Gaming not able to find it. Now 3 apiece at 1 minute remaining. Game 1 has changed. It's been sent on its head as quickly as it began. That minute time is right there. Siki now meets with it, but Walcott wins it out.
And with so little time left, this is the time for Walcott to come forward and make his mark on the competition. This would be a huge win for them, taking down Legacy.
I'd expect that. Walcott continuing with the ball and sneaking it past Jam Gaming again. A goal up.
And this is where they need to hold it now. We've seen great defense for some of their plays. We had that moment where we just saw consecutive shots come out from Legacy. And if they can have another moment like that where they can hold out this offense and then get another runaway, they could just lock it in.
They managed to break through 4 times before a 5th would secure it. 45 seconds in, Delusion rolling it around the side. Siki's not the one up. It's Sirix who has moved with the ball. Off the corner, the center's there. Siki not winning it out, but Sirix sets it up for Delusion. It's still in front of net, but that massive clear, open net, and Jam Gaming get the 5th.
That is the runaway. That's the defense we just talked about, holding them out until they force them all in and then charging up the center of the pitch. Jam Gaming classic.
It's a 2-goal lead career for Legacy Esports. It is going to put them in a difficult position. Game 1 builds up in this series. Legacy have been the monsters, the Titans. I think you called them a dragon offset.
Oh, dude, they're disgusting. They are so scary, and they're so hungry as well, having never got that top 2 finish, but been in the game for so long.
Jack, it is a pass back to Bango. Walcott waiting as well. Seriously, we get this clear, but time is running out, and Jam Gaming are just being quite deceptive with the ball. Siki, the last plays here. He gets it past 1. Walcott doesn't have any boost, and it looks like Legacy will just forfeit this one away. Aren't able to get anything from it, and Jam Gaming taking game number 1.
For me, this is already an upset with Jam Gaming with such a strong performance. Out the gate when they got that 3, I was like, I don't know, Legacy could still pull this back, but the fact they managed to continue on that and get all the way to 5, even though I predicted the Legacy 3, is outstanding. They're on fire.
I would not put anything against Jam Gaming right now. Walcott getting that hat trick, that was huge. But not only that, everyone from Jam seemed to be getting the passes off.
And that's something they need. And it was the defense, I think, that was their biggest factor in getting it through. I mean, they let 3 goals through. They are one of the most scored upon teams, but they got so many saves, which then led to goals. So we saw the moments where Walcott gets runaways, Bango gets runaways, and when you already had that 3-goal lead and then getting 2 more off defense, you win.
Well, considering most scored upon team, they haven't had a good past couple of weeks. They've really struggled, and after getting that Tainted Minds win, we were saying that Jam were going to climb up. This is not the end of their journey. We came into this week thinking maybe it is. With this game, it's now back to no, it isn't.
Maybe they're just God killers. That's their thing. They just take down the top 4 and then they just lose to everyone else. That's their shtick.
Everything else is going to be okay. But as we jump into game number 2, let's not forget that for Jam Gaming, they need this series win. They will be going up next against Legs Arcelian. That is going to be a game that we expect them to win. If Jam cannot find themselves with 2 series wins here today, that could be the difference for them moving into playoffs.
Yeah, that definitely pushes them down into the bottom 3, maybe bottom 4. So yeah, they definitely want this win. And when they're playing like this, they have a good chance against Legs. Oh, the opening though, the defense too strong from Walcott.
Oh, always from Walcott, their career. And Jam Gaming their holdout yet again, missing this ball. And Syrinx comes in, red hot. Walcott ready to push it down. And Syrinx comes around the ball. It's going to be sent away. Bango's there, pops it up lightly. Delusion waiting back. Now you've got to keep an eye on this Batmobile because he will be the one coming in strong. That's a good light touch. It gives Walcott the pressure he needs, and the ball sent away by Jam Gaming. That demolition not even mattering.
Yeah, and Walcott is a player I want to be highlighting because when he pops off, he puts them in a great position. Ooh, that was so close to the perfect shot. Siki with the follow-up, bringing it down 1-0 to Jam Gaming.
Perfection is not about the first, but rather the second here, career. And Siki, he waited patiently, and Walcott can only do so much.
Yeah, 2 is 1, 1 is none, and that's a goal regardless.
Yeah, 420, this is a time to be alive for Legacy Esports. The tree sends himself forward and continues its growth spurt off the kickoff, though. However, it's going to be a goal for Bango.
What an equalizer. They are such an erratic team to go up against the Jam Gaming squad because they get goals out of nowhere, and conversely, the same comes through.
Really, Jam Gaming, they've brought it back, and this is such an important series. One for both Legacy and Jam Gaming. Legacy, we might have to reevaluate because they're getting pummeled by Jam. Jam are just putting on an expert display here.
Yeah, that double touch from Walcott, they're predicting the follow-up and doing that pre-jump to allow him to keep possession was beautiful. Even if they didn't get so much of it, they've locked Legacy back in their half.
I was going to say, the crowd actually behind them as well, Curry, about 65% in favor of Jam Gaming. Decker now centering the ball, and you can see why. The pressure will not stop, and this Jam Gaming lineup getting the intercepts. As I say that, though, Syrinx getting the runaway. Siki does not have the boost. It's sent away, but Siki is able to center it for Delusion. It's well read by Walcott. Now the runaway and the breakaway. Decker will take the ball. Syrinx winning it out, going over to the center. Now set up off the backboard. And Jam Gaming continue to surprise us and bring that pressure home.
Yeah, just in the nick of time as well. We are seeing the Legacy guys getting stressed, getting flustered, and now whether or not they can score is going to be the question.
Bye-bye ball, they say, but Decker's back with that light touch, reads it very, very well. Delusion now off the backboard. No boost available for the other Legacy members, and Siki uses it all to come up the field, but reading these high balls, you can see that Jam Gaming, okay, nice, fair enough. Delusion.
Now Kiss.
Yeah, Delusion pops it up again. Siki's there, the shot, but Walcott is just staying in net.
Yeah, despite the fact we are seeing Jam pressured into their half, they have just conceded it with Syrinx pulling another one.
That was what we wanted to see from Legacy Esports, and Delusion has been the man of this game. Syrinx now taking over charges. That was a neat angle.
Yeah, the tree guys do love to share their goals around, each one kind of pulling similar weight and quite happy to pass. It makes them so rotationally strong.
From the fruits of their labor career, a tree does not grow one, but many. And Legacy Esports at 245, now putting on the pressure again. Bango's been left in the net, but Siki's still coming up. He always wins these 50-50s. He gets it in off the wall. Delusion runs back, but now you have to rotate. Jam Gaming go to a very heavy-paced start. Straight off this kickoff, the ball goes over. Legacy Esports now waiting patiently. That's over to Bango, missing again. Decker's there. He'll get the second touch on this ball, but it's left for Walcott. Siki pinching it on the wall. Walcott's here, and it's Jam Gaming who are going to have to fight their way back in the second game.
And it's a hard place to be in, right? It's a very different match. We saw these huge goals coming out early, but we're 2 minutes in with only 3 goals total. They're both trying to get a bit more of their measure.
For Siki now, the ball is up, ready for him. This is going to be a beautiful center. Deck is there. It's a light touch, and Delusion knows how to read this from the corner. Syrinx is there, and in such an important series, Jam Gaming, they're trying to put that pressure back on Legacy side of the field with the angles getting more and more interesting. Bango was there, ready to punch it down. Legacy Esports back in the defense. Now Delusion has to get there quick, but Walcott comes back up, pinches it from the corner again. Siki not winning out the ball. It lands near net.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Walcott trying to get that second attempt from that right-hand side. But we're seeing the Legacy has adapted. They've realized that is an angle he likes to attack from today, and they're getting in early with the defense.
I think for Legacy, they're getting pressured, and at what point do they break, career? A minute 10 remaining, finally getting that clear. That'll give them the breathing room that they deserve here. But Legacy Esports still a goal up in game 2. 1 minute remaining. Delusion piles it down. No one in defense.
The revenge goal, the one that Jam Gaming had been punishing them with, they now turn back on them and break away with that 3-1, leaving Jam in that difficult position, right? You now have to take massive risks to score 2 goals with 1 minute remaining. That opens you up to letting the other team just get too far away.
It doesn't matter that Legacy Esports didn't take game 1. I mean, their stats have been incredible so far. There are a lot of shots. There was a lot of playing catch-up. Sirix doesn't care for the 2 defenders, nor does Siki. And Legacy 2 goals up, still applying the pressure that they need. The disciplined squad keep looking more and more disciplined. The demolition, it's responded twofold, and Siki will defend by himself.
That was a great demo there coming out from Legacy to counter the Jam one, stopping them from instantly losing this offense that was coming through and allowing them to break back out of their half.
And this for Legacy Esports is their only series of today. And going against Jam, who've got another one after this. This is the motivator. Ball centered again. Siki, remember, he wins out a lot of challenges and gets the ball over. Walcott, the center for Delusion. A light touch was all that was needed there for Legacy.
And they've ran away with it now, 4-1 with 16 seconds left on the clock. The score is now equal, but Jam are not out. With that first game performance, they could easily snatch it back.
And Delusion, he must love sailing because he comes through, he puts up the hoist, the colors are there, and he swings through the pitch, getting the 4th goal for Legacy. 16 seconds. Wow, that'd be a very long game of Rocket League. But Legacy Esports, they've maintained control in this second game, and it's been a very, very different squad. Delusion will try and apply even more pressure and continue to put Jam in the corner. It's 1-1.
Yeah, 16 minutes wouldn't be a new thing for Legacy, though. That game against Retirement Home, oh boy, that was a beauty.
That was a beauty indeed, Career, and that was a series that is looking much like this one. Very close at 1-1, and Delusion again. He was the goal scorer. He was the pressure maker. He's having a very good series so far.
Yeah, they're having a great game. All the shots coming out as well. This is kind of what we expect when we see Legacy stats and Jam's. Traditionally, Jam normally has a lot of saves, which they convert into runaway goals, which we did see from Bango and Deca. On the flip side, Legacy loves their shots, and they love an even distribution. Yep. Most of them start to rotate around. They take a shot, the next one follows up. It's not necessarily about getting perfectly on. It's about controlling the pitch.
I was just thinking that Legacy said that, and they say, Delusion, it's your turn to score. Now Sirix.
Yep.
Now Siki, it's your turn. And we're back to Delusion.
Well, when you got a new guy on the roster, the rookie comes in, you want to make him feel involved.
Is he even a rookie? Like, this is the question.
Technically he is.
He technically is, but in performance, he is not. There is no way I would put Delusion there anymore. I put him up with the likes of Sirix and Siki. I put him up with the likes of members like, you know, the Chiefs, although not the time of experience. Putting on a grand performance when it counts, and that's in League Play 4. That's one of the most important league plays, because for some teams here, this is their second last series. This is their third last series before going to qualifiers.
And you need to get through, right? This is your opportunity to lock it in and give yourself a little bit of wiggle room on the last day, because you don't want to have all that pressure knowing, I have to win this match, I have to win it by at least 1 game, and awful. It's
going to be if Jam Gaming can withstand, or cannot withstand Legacy Esports, I beg your pardon. Game 3 now. And Legacy are a team that have been dominant throughout league play. They took a loss last week to the Chiefs. It was 3-1. It was close in each individual game, but Legacy, we said, they're such a growing squad. They're disciplined, and now they're proving it. Sirix off the wall. That was a moment to watch. Siki hangs all the way back, and these rotations from Legacy looking cleaner and cleaner with each game. They pass the ball up. It's slow from Siki, and we always said that they get creative with the ball sometimes. They're disciplined in their passes, but there's been moments. This will hit the roof. This will head towards net, but it's open for Siki to maybe attempt a shot. Delusion with the pass. Sirix with the angle. 1, 2, and 3, and see you later. Legacy take the first goal.
Delusion, it's your turn again as we go through the rotation, and he takes the goal for that quick lead. We're going to see the pass plays out of Legacy. They love to do it. They love to share, and they love to score.
And Walcott was like, is that going to be a banger? Is that going to be a speed machine of a ball? And Legacy Esports say, no, we're just going to tap it in. Just tap it in. The first goal, it looks to be more than just one. Jam getting aggressed on, and this is looking difficult for them.
But they're not down and they're not out. It's only 1 goal down. Jam are a fiery squad, and because of that, they like to score, and they like both teams to score high. High risks is the name of the game.
Siki runs up as well. I think Delusion and Sirix were a little bit uncontapped, and the health, that's right. The new update, it's been a bit of fun for everyone. Delusion now taking the shot, and he locks that one in the corner.
What a needle thread. Straight in the perfect spot in that top right. Past the defense as well. It's a great read.
And Delusion, known for getting some interesting and really compelling shots in this series. 2-0. Legacy Esports Korea, they've found their way through the first game, and what do we say? They don't feel the pressure when they're down, when they're a game down, when they're goals down. They don't look pressured whatsoever. They're a clean and clinical squad.
Yeah, they had that new history, right? Sirix used to be the guy locked, cursed to not break into the top 3, but since then, he's turned it around. You can see the confidence when they play, that they don't fall behind. They don't get into that mental anguish that leads to poor decision-making.
Demolition on Jam. Walcott, he won't receive the pass whatsoever. The solo's there, but it's blocked by Delusion. A second time knocked back. Legacy Esports, so well known for being versatile, for again, being so disciplined. Bang goes up for the ball, gets it past Delusion. A moment for Jam Gaming. Decker hasn't come forward, and it's just been left for Legacy Esports. Siki and Delusion are here, and Delusion gets to the ball first. It's counted up by Siki, and Legacy, they have the freedom to go where they please. 2 minutes 55, the shot from Sirix. It'll clear all the way through, and Bango will read it quite well.
And now here's the opportunity. One of them is going to have to run back. And we see the rotations being a little bit greedier from Legacy. They're going to have to hold this pressure, or they're susceptible to that runaway shot that Bango and Walcott are famous for.
Siki to Sirix, Sirix to Delusion, and then back over to Walcott now as Jam Gaming progress forward. Siki will get the clear all the way upfield, and taking the ball away, Sirix now has to be careful because there is the aggression that is well known for Jam. The shot, the clear, Decker's not there. He tries to get back, he pops it up in time. But what does this mean? A good save from Walcott is what it means. And never question yourself, because Jam Gaming, they continue to hold on. They're trying to get past this offense from Legacy Esports, and everyone's scrambling up in the air. They're not done from Legacy. The clear will be responded to by Sirix, and as Delusion waits up, this is not over. Jam Gaming again. How much stamina do they have? In comes Delusion for a third round from Legacy. And getting choked up in the corner, Jam Gaming continue to try and get it out there.
Say what you will, that backboard defense was pretty beautiful. The fact that they could be shot on so many consecutive times and the 3 of them working together, bit messy, but it worked, right?
Oh, that's a good passing play. That enables Sirix to get the third.
You had to give them a little bit of wiggle room, had to pull the Jam Gaming roster back out so that the 3 of them were out of the net to have that opportunity to score. And that's where Sirix comes in for their team. He's the reactive player who is most likely to sit back, realize when there's an opening, watch the lines of the matrix, and then come in and score.
I mean, that intercept was not the first time we've seen Legacy Esports take the ball away from Jam. Delusion's slow with it, and a minute 30, you have all the reason in the world to be slow with the ball. 3-0 Legacy Esports Game 3. This is a moment where they can cherish and love each other and say, yes, we're doing so good in league play, but moments like this, you have to be careful. Sirix is back in time. It pinches up and down back onto the pitch, and Siki always winning out those challenges. 50-50s, he does not care.
He's an aggressive dude. He loves running up. He has the most shots in the league. He averages over 4 per game.
Yeah.
That is insane. Doesn't matter what your shot rate is. When you're averaging 4, someone's going to feel the pressure.
The way Legacy going right now, it is only going to continue to grow. Sirix hanging back. Delusion comes up for the ball, and it's around the center field now for Siki to pummel it in. Jam Gaming, they intercept and they get the better shot, but the read is there from Sirix, and the angle was true by Decker, but Legacy Esports more so their defense holds out, and Jam Gaming for game number 3. They're most likely going to take a loss here. For Legacy Esports, it means they could continue to drive through league play.
Yeah, this is the magic number for Legacy. You need to get more than 3 goals. They always get 3 or pretty darn close to it. So if you don't get more, you're in a real rough spot.
But I guess the question for me is how Jam Gaming progress through this series, how they can get themselves to a game 5. Because this means so much for them, and they've put on a pretty good performance throughout the series.
Well, I think it was a case, for Legacy side at least, cleaning up that defense. We saw 2 opportunities in the first game where Siki was there. He was just a little bit slow to it. But as you mentioned time and time again, that kid is fast. And now that he's picked up the pace, and we almost saw another goal sneak through, but they didn't want to make me wrong. 3's the magic number. So
2-1 now, Legacy Esports taking that game and move to match point. Where Legacy at the moment, they're sitting in the top. They get this, they move to 4-1. They move closer to the Chiefs, who have given them their first loss. They move closer to teams, well, above teams like Darksided. Legacy Esports are looking down the barrel of that potential win, but Jam Gaming, they had a good game 1, How do they have a good game 4?
They have to follow up when they get the opportunity. If they can get those big clears after drawing Legacy in, we see so many opportunities where Legacy commit all 3 players deep into the jam side of the pitch. And if you can get a clear and you can do those runaways, that's how they got a lot of their goals.
They can't at the moment. They can't get past Siki. Siki seems like the most annoying player when you're going up Legacy. The one person you're like, I've run into Siki. I kind of just don't want to run into Siki, but there's Siki all the time.
The guy at the office that you just don't want to talk to that's always there. I'd talk to you, Siki, but yeah.
He's in a corner, but always you should go to the water cooler, boom, suddenly he's there behind you. That's Siki.
Yeah.
He's a pest for Jam Gaming, but for Legacy, a real class act. One that cannot be stopped at this stage, it seems. Legacy Esports are applying the pressure and winning a lot of this contention.
Yeah, well, you got Siki starting the play, and then you got the cohesion between when Delusion and Sirix are able to follow him up. You're really in a rough spot, and it kind of hurts for Jam Gaming as well. Trying to break through this, break through the defense of Legacy when you know they're consistently going to crank out a certain number of goals. Jam's a team that likes to take high risks. They like to score a lot and get scored on a lot, and hope the differential just falls in their favor.
Sometimes that does not work when you go up against a disciplined squad like Legacy. Game 4, and Legacy have punched the ball forward immediately. Sirix has full control, leaves it and baits it a little bit as well, but I think the second touch was meant to come from him. Delusion the pass back, taken away by Bango, and Legacy look like they want to close this one out a little bit early.
Yeah, they really need to lock this down. Every game counts, especially when it's so tight for that top 4. Oh, so close. That is a nail-biter.
A Jam Gaming, they slide through, and that's right, Korea. Jam had a moment there. 1-2 close. Sirix wants it himself. Siki's here. Delusion, the third member, will take the shot, and it's angled into Walcott.
Unfortunately, this is the kind of situations that if they were more organized, better in position, they could have gone for that big clear, broken out, and tried for the runaway, as Legacy was so deep into their half.
Delusion comes up to the ball. Sirix is waiting here as well. 4 minutes in. Bango comes the opposite side of the ball. He's been a bit frisky down the Legacy Esports side of the field. With a minute passing, Delusion has the first cracker, and it's been popped away by Walcott. Again, Jam Gaming holding out in defense, but can they do it forever?
Yeah, and there was an awkward moment there where Sirix, noticing that he's completely out of boost, managed to steal it from their half, and it should have led to more control. And you've got to be careful with that boost management, right? You can't let your opposition steal your corner boost. Otherwise, you're locked in there forever. Sirix
been passed up the ball. Siki again. Here comes the applied pressure that Legacy bring with them. The tree continues to really counteract some of these plays. Delusion will wait for it, but loses it. And Legacy getting so damn close. Low-scoring game by the looks of it, but the first one is getting even closer. Jam had an opportunity once again.
Yeah, they really need to win this game. This is a game that could keep them out of the relegation zone. So if they could pull it back, keeping in mind, this score is at 0-0. Every game is like getting tighter than the last. So this is their chance to break ahead. We just need to see one big goal. That one big clear, however, Korea sets up the backboard for the angled in. We needed big clears. We see big clears, and we see Bango. What a way to finish it as well. Now can they hold it is the big question. This is Jam Gaming's time to shine. 3 minutes, 1 goal difference. If it's such a low-scoring game, you have to imagine that another one caught up by Legacy could hold strong. Jam Gaming can do it. Decker over to Walcott. Ball goes under him, unfortunately, and Delusion now going to pass the ball up. Siki and Sirix. You can see Sirix is hanging back. Siki's going to be the one to receive this ball. It's over to the side, into the corner. Hit again, but Sirix reads it so damn well. No one in defense for Legacy to score. And Legacy with near perfect boost use there. Every single one of their players up to the end using the emptying last drop in their tank to get the goal. It looks like with Jam Gaming there are some communication issues, because you'd have to feel that that one could have been defended. 1-1, 2-minute 40, and Legacy continue to break through. And this is their moment to close out the series. 1-1. There's an opportunity for Jam also to strike. Siki waiting back. This is coming from the corner again. The angle is perfect. We don't even need to look at it. It's so damn good. Look at that geometry and the confidence as well. The camera angle is like, nah, cool guys don't look at explosions. Siki has got what it takes to be America's next top model. Not only that, he's got what it takes to take out a potential contender. And dare we say MVP, the shot from Jam Gaming, it's easily blocked by Legacy. The first goal is locked away for the second, but saved well. Jam Gaming have these moments, but
Legacy continue to surprise and react.
But now here, Jam, another opportunity. They need to lock down a goal because they're down, but they're certainly not out. And this is a metaphor for the entire competition. Can they bring it back today to bring it back overall?
Now for Delusion, he didn't have any boost and everything was taken, so that'll actually work out. He spawns back and uses that 33 to walk up the pitch. Sirius waits back and is going to use the rest of his to try and get that clear, but it's sent all the way back to Siki. And now for Legacy Esports, they hold that 1 goal lead, but you feel like Jam have got so much to say. It's over there and not too far in. Walcott, he's really pushing up. I think Jam Gaming, they're hungry. They want to find a win against Legacy, but Legacy is so damn strong. The clear goes all the way back into the backboard, and Jam continue to strike.
We talked about Jam needing those big clears to score, and they almost got it off the clear alone. So drawing Legacy out, trusting in your defense, and then allowing that to turn into the goal that can win the game might just be the secret sauce.
Delusion was able to get it through all of that offense from Jam Gaming. Bango comes in and like some sweet mayonnaise now. Legacy continue to top up this game. Of course, mayonnaise is a good topping. 1 minute remaining. 1 goal difference here. Continuing to be on the defense, Legacy Esports. Bit of a struggle here, but now the opening is there, and it's locked in by Decker.
Welcome to the board. Decker getting revenge for that demo that just took him out. Spawns, runs up the pitch, and takes 1 down.
And this is a problem for Legacy, but a grand entrance from Jam Gaming. 49 seconds, Courier, and we're at 2-2.
And 3's the magic number. The follow-up from Jam is going to be critical now. We need to see if they can sneak up that pitch, play fast, and get around the defense, which they've shown they can do.
We've seen many upsets in league play, and none would be better than taking us to a Game 5, getting Jam Gaming into a position of power once again in this series. 30 seconds remaining. Legacy Esports are continually on this defense, and Jam just want to take it to that Game 5 for the first series. They continue to apply the pressure. Delusion has to be followed up by Sirix. Siki hangs back. It just doesn't have any boost, so he won't win this out. It's a good pass back from Bango, and Jam Gaming, they're trying to get a little bit creative to take this one out. Walcott's up for the ball, but the backboard easily defended. Sirix with a big clear. No one's there, Courier, and it goes in.
What a pass play defense there. Intercepting it and then using that alone to become a monster clear, securing that 3 goals and potentially 3 games.
And it is a game of inches, as we said last week, and Legacy Esports an inch to the left, and that was safe. 6 seconds remaining. Jam Gaming, this is going to be one big play, one that Legacy want to deny with the nail in the coffin. A 4-2 for Legacy to take out Jam Gaming 3-1.
Ooh, strong opening there from Jam. We see them taking that first game, but unfortunately Legacy do not want their legacy to fall as they now secure it all.
And with Delusion spamming WoW, you have to say that they will be feeling confident. They will be really compelled over this series. And the first game was, I guess, only a formality, as Legacy would see it. 3-1. Jam Gaming, unfortunately, will take the loss there, which means they need to look towards the future.
Yeah, they did not make the preserves from Legacy's fruits of labor.
I think for Legacy Esports, though, a grand performance with Sirix stepping up in a huge way that game. But I think one of our most consistent members had to be Delusion there. That was a magnificent game where he really showed his true colors.
Yeah, what a showing, right? Delusion is an absolute monster for the pickup. You don't think of him as the guy that's just recently risen to league play, because he plays like one of the boys.
He's so good, but at the start, he was struggling. Him and Sirix were what allowed Jam Gaming to get 3 goals in the first 40 seconds. And what you guys are talking about a lot in that game, they have great mental fortitude. A lot of teams, Retirement Home, even Chiefs, if they had players struggling, they'd lose that trust, but they still maintained it, and that's how they were able to pick up their passes, have such great forward rotations that allowed them, even when they miss, to still get the goal.
And those forward rotations are part of the reason they could lock Jam Gaming out and weren't as susceptible to the clears as they should be when you're so deep in the other side of the pitch.
The thing that Jam was trying to do as well is they were so desperate to try and make their opponents break. They'd go for a lot of offensive rotational plays. They weren't going for a lot of passes, as we talked about earlier. instead trying to force out the mistakes. But you can't do that against Legacy. They're not going to make those mistakes.
As you just said, right? Mental fortitude's the name of the game. And if they can come back from game 1 with a defeat, they're not going to break under the mental stress of a couple of shots.
And I really have to talk about Cyrix as well. He was pushing up forward, but in the past, we've sort of questioned. Sometimes he's forward, sometimes he's back. And it was against the Chiefs where he didn't have that confidence to move forward. He stayed back. He was a bit scared to go up for a lot of aerials. Here we saw Cyrix really stepping up.
Legacy Esports.
Entirely different. And that's the last match for them today. Next week, they've got Darksided and Tainted Minds. So we're going to have to see again whether Cyrix is staying forward against top teams or if he'll go back to going to the back of the pitch.
They definitely define themselves in this series. However, we have to look at a contender for Omen by HP. And you gentlemen were talking a little bit about Cyrix, but who would you put forward as a decent player in that series?
As much as I'd love to put Cyrix forward, he really had a great series. I loved seeing him really getting involved in the attack, some great passes and some great shots. But Delusion, you cannot. I couldn't take it away from him. He was spectacular. He scored 368 points per game, but he had 1.5 goals per game, the most saves per game, the most assists per game, the most shots per game, and the highest shot accuracy.
So he's like pretty good.
Yeah.
Clean stuff from Delusion. However, we're going to have a short 5-minute break, and when we return, Jan will be jumping back on the